Well, good morning. My name is Scott. This is StaticCampervan, my YouTube channel, and I'm just here checking out some property. That is the little tiny town of Ferndale below us. It's unusually noisy here this morning. There's some construction going on. I think they're doing some road repair down there and building a house, so we've got lots of noise going on, but we definitely have a nice view too. I'm not sure that I am ready to make a purchase here. Just don't know if I want to move in here right away. So I thought we'd just explore this little road. I was looking at this the other night, and I think it might take us out to a trail at the edge of town. So I'm just gonna huff and puff my way up the hill here. Maybe I will need to move in. No, let's think positively. Huff and puff my way up the hill here and see where it takes us. This is a steep hill, but I think it's going to take us to Russ Park, which is right at the edge of town. I'm not sure about that, but I'm curious, so we'll check it out. Well, mercifully, this hill has leveled out, and then now we're going down instead of going up. So that means I am not quite so out of breath, and I can tell you where Ferndale is. Ferndale is in Northern California, in the county of Humboldt, and we are about 20 miles south of Eureka, the largest city in Humboldt County. For years I've been coming out here now and have just really been enjoying just the vibe of the town of Ferndale. We'll go down into town in a moment, but just wanted to get a little bit of walking first thing here this morning. Okay, I guess I was right. I guess there is a way to get to the trail at Russ Park. I've never actually gone out this far through Russ Park. I have hiked through Russ Park quite a bit in the past. It is a beautiful park, and I would really like to walk around a bit more, but I'm getting hungry and I would like some coffee, so let's head back into Ferndale and we'll take care of that. Well, in all of my travels, trying different coffee shops all over the place, I can honestly say that my favorite coffee shop is right here in Ferndale, a little place called Mind's Eye. Fantastic little place, very original, much like this place right behind us. So this hasn't been a church for years, but it's still a very cool building, and this kind of architecture is the norm here in Ferndale. Very Victorian-esque here. Very, very cool town. So I'm just going to stop here at my van and grab a grocery bag because I'm actually intending to go get some groceries while I'm here in town. There's another very cool store here that I want to do some shopping at since I am here. A little view of some more Victorian architecture here at the Victorian Inn that I've parked right next to. Looks like we've got a bit more construction going on down here. Lots of construction all over town. Well, I just walked by the coffee shop. I think we'll go back there. First I want to go to the little store that I had in mind. There's a few things I need to stock up on, and there's a store that sells some local dairy products, so I do like to shop there when I am in town. I did park here in Ferndale last night, so I do need to spend some money. That is my rule, so I might as well just take this opportunity and stock up on the local stuff that I like to buy. So here we go, the Milk House, Farmer's Daughter store. And I really like the store. They moved to this new location. They were down on the other side of the block down the streets before, and this one is much bigger. They have a lot more to look at. So we'll go in and look around a little bit, and then I'll stock up on the stuff that I need. Such a cool little store. So I got a few things that I needed to stock up on. I almost bought coffee in there because they do serve coffee, but I can't help myself. I got to go back down to my favorite coffee shop of any coffee shop and anywhere. And this is it, Mind's Eye. This place is just awesome. I did this backwards. I should have bought coffee first and then gone to the store because I did buy some ice cream. I should not have bought this, but you know what? I haven't had ice cream in quite a while. I bought a few other things too. More useful things like cheese, half and half, and butter. It's the reason I went into the store in the first place. One problem with buying ice cream right now is I don't have my freezer turned on. I just have a fridge at the moment. So I'm moving some stuff around in here to try to get the ice cream down in the coldest part of the fridge. I keep my fridge so cold that the bottom portion of it is actually frozen, so I can keep some things partially frozen for a little while. I couldn't keep ice cream maybe overnight, but I can keep it for a few hours before it starts to thaw. So I think I've got that all arranged well. And now to put away the cheese, I bought some smoked cheddar. I really like smoked cheddar, and it's hard to find really good smoked cheddar, but this brand is really good, Rumiano. Again, another local brand. The funny thing about doing this here, worrying about my ice cream thawing out, is my coffee is now getting cold. So the coffee that I bought here at Mind's Eye is another local brand. They use a local roaster called Humboldt Bay Coffee Roasters. And it's a roaster that I really like and buy. In fact, I have some, where is it? Right here. I've got a partial bag of some Ethiopian from Humboldt Bay. So it's a roaster I like. So this means all the food that I bought here is all local, and that's the way I like to do it, at least when I can. Okay, I had a nice pleasant couple of minutes drinking my latte there. That was very tasty. It's always really good, which is one of the reasons why Mind's Eye is my favorite coffee shop. But now what to do, right? I think I want to go up to Russ Park. It's been a little while since I have walked around Russ Park, so let's go back up to Russ Park. Just walk around a little bit. Occasionally my memory gets a bit hazy and I forget about certain details of places that I have visited in the past, and I wonder, why have I not gone back there? Well, now that I'm back here at Russ Park, my memory has been jogged a bit. I remember now that I have not been back here because every time I seem to come out here, I can very rarely find a parking spot. Now, I just got lucky because there was one parking spot available here, although just as I parked, 2 vehicles left. So now it's not quite so crowded, but that's why I haven't been back here in a while. The other reason too is, well, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but this trail, this park, it always seems a little bit creepy to me. I don't know why that is. It's really pretty, but it just is slightly creepy. Before we take off onto the trail, I thought I would just have a little snack. And of course, I'm breaking into this smoked cheddar that I just bought. It's one of my favorite little things to eat. I've been kind of gravitating more to salty things versus sweet things. So that's why I haven't had any ice cream in a while. I'll probably enjoy that ice cream later. Hopefully it doesn't melt. I think my fridge is cold enough down where I've got it that it will stay at least partially frozen. Actually, I have a thermometer that I keep down in the bottom of the fridge here. So it's reading, I think that's about 23 degrees, if you can see that. So that means that ice cream will not stay frozen very long. I changed some of the settings on my fridge here recently, and so I think I just need to turn it down a couple of degrees. I'll do that right now, just so I don't feel like I need to be in a rush to get back and eat that ice cream. Probably need to eat a little food before I get into that pint of ice cream, right? Okay, so it says 38, but it runs about 7 to 8 degrees cooler than whatever this is set at. And I know that because of the fridge thermometers. So I'll just bump this down a little bit. And that should keep that ice cream a little bit more frozen. And it'll just take it a couple minutes to get that temperature down a few degrees. And actually, while I'm here, I'll show you. This is a proper fridge thermometer. Those instant read thermometers really shouldn't be used for the purpose I'm using them. I've just been too cheap to buy another one of these, but you can see even at the top of the fridge here, it's pretty cold. It stays right between 30 and 31 degrees up here, and then as you go down in the fridge, it gets colder and colder. One thing that I've found really helps keep the fridge cold is I've added a little bit of extra insulation on the outside. Now this fridge is pretty well insulated to begin with, but I have found that because the outside of it is black plastic, when the sun shines on it, it does heat it up and will heat up the inside of the fridge a little bit. So because I normally sit with my door open like this, this side I've got some insulation on it, and this is just a cheap yoga mat, and I bought a lighter color to kind of reflect a little more sun. I have a little more on top, and then I've just got some carpet on top just because the yoga mat likes to tear up. It's a cheap one. I think I bought it at a store called Five Below. So it's starting to wear out. I should probably replace it with something, but it's still doing the job. I haven't found a need to surround the fridge with insulation, but just having a little bit more on the top and having a little bit on the outside just to reflect a little bit of sun has helped a ton. Okay, let's walk a little bit. So to be perfectly honest, I'm not quite sure that I am ready to do any hiking today, and this trail is a little bit steep. I already walked up the other steep hill at the cemetery earlier, so not quite sure I want to be doing a whole lot of steep walking. My health issues have been flaring up a little bit lately, and so it's been kind of keeping me from doing too much strenuous activity. So thought I'd look over the map here. It's been a while since I've been here, but I remember that the pond loop is really cool. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make it up that far because I think it's pretty steep if I remember right. And again, not really remembering quite so well, but we'll give it a try. We'll see how far we get. Okay, we have officially made it to the pond, except that the pond is a little bit dry. If there's water in that pond, I don't see it. I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation. It's still very pretty here. Well, I have overdone it a little bit. This is a little bit too steep of a hill for me to try to tackle today, so I think we're just going to head back down. The good news is, because it was going up all the way here, we can go down all the way back to the parking lot. Ah, somebody's behind me. Oh wait, that's me. Hello. It's a little bit difficult to take everything in here because there's so many banana slugs on the trail. You don't really want to look up. You want to keep your eyes down where you're walking so as to not injure one. So I have been stopping from time to time and just looking around. It is really beautiful back here. Okay, Russ Park, I am sorry for calling you creepy earlier. It's a very nice place, and if you're around Ferndale, you should come and check it out. But do keep in mind that all the trails here are fairly steep. So if you're not liking the steep stuff, you may want to hold this off until a day that you feel like tackling a little bit of a steep trail. I want to check on the ice cream here. So under 20 degrees down low, and up top, 28 degrees. Might be a bit chilly, so we should probably go somewhere that's maybe not quite so slanted as the parking area is here, I can more easily cook a little bit of lunch and eat that ice cream. So I can turn this back up a little bit so I don't freeze all of my food. Well, as I see it, the two best options would be to either head back into Ferndale. If I did that, I would probably go back over to Mind's Eye and order another coffee and just sit in the cafe for a few minutes. I haven't done that in quite a while. I've always just taken it to go lately. Or we could go out to the ocean because it's not very far. I think we need to do that. I've spent enough money here today and I really want to be out at the ocean. It'll be nice and peaceful. I won't feel like climbing up big hills. So that way I can take it easy the rest of the day. And here we are at Centerville Beach. This is just a few miles outside of Ferndale. And I think this will be a good spot to sit for a few minutes and make lunch. Unfortunately, lately here, parking has been a bit limited. The ocean tends to wash out the parking area here and actually washes out the road here as well. So we've got just a little space of parking. It used to be pretty wide, and I would back in here and open up my back doors and watch the waves as I was making lunch, but can't do that anymore. But at least we're able to sit here. I just wanted to get a quick close look at the water, and now I will make some lunch because I am hungry. As a little side note, you can actually drive out on the beach here, but I would be afraid of getting stuck. I've seen a lot of people drive out here, but I've also seen a number of them get stuck out here, so I wouldn't want to drive out here, but then again, I don't have a four-wheel drive. I normally only buy sourdough bread, but I went to the local food co-op here, and they were all out of sourdough, and I stood there thinking, what should I do? And I just don't eat whole wheat anymore. And you will not be able to convince me to go back to eating whole wheat. I'm done with that. So the only other option was these rolls. And these are not sourdough, so I'm not quite so happy with them. I thought that they would be okay, and I guess they are in a way. I just needed some bread. But I not real crazy about them. But they'll make a good sandwich here. I just cooked up 2 eggs. Might be a little tight fit on these little buns here, but we'll make it work. And I toasted those rolls up in a little bit of butter just to make them a little more tasty. Again, I would prefer to have some sourdough, so to try to make up that missing flavor, I've just toasted them off. And we're going to go in with a little more of the world's best hot sauce, which is Yellowbird, of course. And I got a little bit of shredded red cabbage just for some crunch, and might as well season that up with a little more Yellowbird. Can't have too much of that. And there we go. A quick, simple little lunch. This is the food portion of the lunch. Obviously, there will be a coffee and ice cream portion as well, but we'll get some real food in first. I forgot to mention that I added some sharp cheddar cheese to this. I did not use the smoked cheddar that I just bought. I just used regular sharp cheddar. I kind of like to eat that smoked cheddar all by itself, or maybe with some crackers or something like that. So this is just regular cheddar. I do think this needs a little bit more Yellowbird though. Again, you can't have too much Yellowbird. I don't think anyway. So I've gone ahead and reset the fridge temperature back up to 38 degrees where I had it before, keeping in mind that it normally runs about 6 or 7 degrees colder than whatever the set temperature says. So I did that because everything was feeling pretty cold in there. The eggs I just got out for lunch felt like they were almost ready to freeze. So before I get any frozen food through the fridge, I figured I'd better reset it. I am doing one little thing differently with the fridge. These 12-volt fridges have two ways of running them. They have a regular mode and an eco mode. And it seems like if you look at some of the reviews on these 12-volt fridges, people like to say that the eco mode saves power. Well, that's not what happens. So the eco mode just means that the fridge runs the compressor at a lower speed, and so it does save a little bit of power while it's running at that lower speed. But because it's running at a lower speed, it has to run longer to do the same amount of cooling that it would on its normal mode. So in the end, it doesn't save any power. It is helpful though to run it on eco if you do run these off of a lead acid battery. And when I first got this fridge, I did have a sealed lead acid battery, and so that was better for it to run it on that battery that way. But since then I've changed to a lithium battery, and with the lithiums, they just don't really care if you're running a fridge on an eco mode or not. And so I thought maybe I'll try it on the regular mode instead of the eco mode, just to see if it'll run a little bit better. I've had just some cases where I've thought that maybe it's just running too long because the compressor is just running at a lower speed, and so it just kind of overshoots the temperature, the set temperature, just because it's running at that lower speed. I don't know. I just thought I would try it now that I have a battery that is capable of running it on its regular mode. And I think that it actually does hold a better set temperature. It seems to be a lot more even now than it ever was before. So I'm going to keep it on its regular mode and not use the eco mode anymore. The one little downside I do notice is it is a little bit louder since the compressor's running at full speed. My head is usually right back here, so I'm right close to the fridge, which means I do hear it quite a bit more. But I think it's a small price to pay for having a better set temperature inside the fridge. And truth be told, it doesn't keep me up at all. I sleep like a rock all the time anyway, so it doesn't really make any difference to me. Okay, I got my ice cream and I got my spork. The one problem is the wind has picked up a little bit. It's feeling kind of chilly, which means it's not exactly ice cream weather right now, but we'll make do. It's chilly enough that I'm going to need some sleeves here to sit and enjoy my ice cream. Boy, the wind is really picking up. I thought there would be a log to sit on, but I'm not really seeing one. At least not one that gives me a good view out to the ocean. I'll just keep walking. Can't walk too long or my ice cream will melt though. This works, but it's chilly. This Alex ice cream is really premium stuff. I bought the mint chocolate chip and it is very good. I don't normally buy this brand of ice cream. It's a little bit more expensive because they use A2 dairy, and I don't know enough about this dairy to tell you why it's better than anything else, but anyway, I guess there's some information on the package, but you can always go to Alex's website if you want to know some more information. I didn't realize this was made in Petaluma, which is right in Sonoma County. I spent all of last winter in Sonoma County. Nice place to be in the wintertime. One thing about this ice cream is the ingredients are all things that you can read and, no weird stuff. Well, not too many weird things, but I would kind of prefer to see a few less ingredients than they have in here, but it's still pretty good ingredient-wise and a very good flavor of this ice cream. I do really like mint chocolate chip, and this one does taste pretty good. I'm really hoping that there are no spiders in this log, but I'm guessing that there probably are. Seems to be a theme today. I didn't mention it, but at the cemetery this morning I got covered in spider webs, and then I got covered in spider webs again on the trail at Russ Park. So I've been feeling itchy and feeling like I've had spiders crawling on me all day long. So I'm guessing there's probably going to be some more. I don't think I actually had any spiders on me, just the cobwebs. But you know, when you get that in your mind, it's hard to not lose that sensation that you've got bugs crawling on you. That was very tasty, but this was not the perfect day for ice cream. I think I need a jacket and maybe a cup of coffee. Let's do that. People tell me that ice cream warms you up. It's a warming food. I don't know what they're talking about, especially right now, because I am freezing. I'm having a little trouble moving my fingers right now. My fingers are so cold. I probably maybe should have put my jacket on instead of just my flannel shirt. But maybe the coffee will help warm me up. Boy, I really am having trouble moving my hands. I'm so cold. Definitely the coffee will help warm me up. I'm going to get a little half and half in here. And I'm not really making this coffee for right now. I think I'm going to leave it here and we'll go out walking a little bit. The beach gets really pretty the farther that way you walk, so we'll go up that way. I actually made an ASMR video for my other channel here, and I thought it turned out pretty good. It didn't get a lot of views because it's just waves, it's just sounds of the waves and visuals of the waves, but I really liked it. It was kind of my favorites of the ASMR videos that I've made. So I watch it every once in a while, actually. And I think I'm going to lose the flannel here and put on the jacket, because this will help block a little bit more wind, I think, than the shirt did. Because that was the problem. It's not very cold, it's just windy. Very, very windy. Maybe just a couple of sips of coffee, though, before we go. One problem that I've had with my other channel is it's not big enough to be monetized, which means I don't have a way of turning the ads off on that channel. And being that it's supposedly more of an ASMR type channel, so you're listening to the sounds and watching the visuals of it, once an ad comes in the middle, it kind of messes up the experience. So I have gotten a few people kind of give me some rude comments about turning the ads off, and I try to tell them I don't have the ability to turn the ads off because it's not a monetized channel, so I don't have that ability to do that. So, you know, if you'd like to go and subscribe to that other channel, you can find the link for it in the description of every one of my videos. Just go to the video description and go all the way down to the bottom, and there's a link for it there. You can go subscribe and watch a few. If I get enough subscribers and enough people watching every month, then I can actually turn the ads off of those videos, at least in the middle of those videos, so that we can all watch them straight through. Now, I actually have YouTube Premium, so I don't watch any ads at all. I don't have to deal with ads at all, so that's probably the best way to go about it. If you don't mind paying the $13 a month, YouTube Premium is actually worth every penny. This is not an endorsement or a sponsored piece of content. I'm just saying I tried it a few months back. I think they had a little special, and I think I got the first month or two for free. I forget, something like that. And I'm hooked on it now. So yeah, YouTube Premium, definitely the way to go. And then you don't have to deal with ads at all, even when it's on a channel that doesn't have the ability to turn the ads off. It's the way to go. And now let's us go out and walk on the beach. I was really tired earlier, but being out here at the ocean, I'm feeling much better. There's something about the ocean that's just entirely energizing. That's why I like to spend as much time as I can by the ocean, and I prefer the Pacific Ocean. This spot out here is just so spectacular. We'll see how far I can walk before I get tired out like I did this morning, but with this roll and surf here, I feel like I can walk for miles. Okay, I didn't walk for miles. I maybe walked a quarter of a mile out here, but that's enough. I've been doing quite a lot of walking today, and I started off not feeling so great today, so I think I've accomplished more than I anticipated, which is good. It gets really pretty the farther that way you go. That is the Lost Coast behind us there, one of the most incredible places on Earth. But definitely the best part of Humboldt and California as far as I'm concerned. If you get a chance, definitely check that out back there. But I think I'm ready to get back to the van, get back to my coffee, maybe another snack. This cross here at Centerville Beach is in remembrance of a ship that went down. Quite a few people lost their lives in that incident. And there was some information at the base of this, but it looks like it's been buried. Let's see if there's anything left that we can read here. Okay, the plaque is still visible, but you might not be able to read it. So let me read it for you. It says, "To the memory of the 38 pioneers who lost their lives in the wreck of the steamer Northerner on January 6, 1860, by Ferndale Parlor, 1921. Rebuilt because of the earthquake of 1992 and rededicated February 11th, 1995. I really like making coffee ahead of time and then having it ready for me when I come back from a walk. I put it in this double insulated cup that I have, and of course I put the lid on it, and it stays really good and hot for quite a while. This other mug is actually my favorite. It's just a little bit cooler, and it's a little bit bigger around, so I think it kind of helps with the flavor of the coffee. I think the more that you can smell the coffee, the better the coffee tastes. Maybe that's all in my head, but that is one of the reasons why I like that mug better. But it doesn't keep coffee as warm as this one does. Plus this one's bigger, so if I want more coffee, I use this one. If I need to keep the coffee hotter longer, I use this one. So I tend to use this one quite a lot, even though the other mug is my favorite. And now for the snack, I'm going to have an apple. I bought this at the food co-op here in Eureka. And I don't know if I said the name of that food co-op. It's North Coast Co-op, and they have two locations. One's in Eureka, and the other one is in the little town of Arcata, which is just the next city up from Eureka. And both of the locations are great. It's just one of the best co-ops I've ever found anywhere. And this apple is actually a local apple. I'm still having trouble with my hands, can you tell? They're not nearly as cold, but they're stiff. So I'm having trouble. Don't laugh at me, or go ahead and laugh. I'm laughing at myself. Anyway, this apple was a local apple. I forget what town it was grown in. I think maybe Ferndale here. And I think it's a Jonagold, if I remember right, which I think is a New York apple. It was developed in New York. So I'm not quite sure why they're growing New York apples in California, but it's really good. It's just got an excellent flavor to it. It's got a little bit of tartness, the perfect amount of sweetness, not too sweet, not too tart. Yeah, I really like these. I bought a bunch of them. This is the last one. Well, the sun is starting to drop. You can probably see it up there. Got a little bit of light left today, but the temperature is dropping and the fog is rolling in, and I don't like to be out here when it gets dark. So I think that means it is time to call it a day. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it.